Who is in a youth chapter here? My group over here is our Fort Lauderdale Gentle Warriors group. This is what, third year?
We're from the Greater Washington, D.C. chapter.
And there are a lot of things going on in the political scene that we need to be attentive of. We are the leaders of tomorrow.
Don't just talk about it, be about it. I mean, back in the day, we would say, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta do what? Yeah, well, I'm giving you their version of it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. You heard about the students that showed up at the summit, youth summit that the AFL-CIO put forward. They didn't just show up, they showed out. They challenged the ages that our folk were talking about as young and said, if that's young, oh Lord, have mercy.
Remember, when Dr. King was assassinated, he only made it to 36. And he was the old man in the group. So, the John Lewis that you heard mentioned, James Foreman, these were 20-somethings. Yeah. And young people, this is your opportunity. This is your generation's moment. This is when you can prove that we don't have to talk in the past. We don't have to talk about John Lewis, Mayor Weston, James Foreman. We don't have to talk about the past. We can talk about you.
You can see that from poets, you can see it from rappers, preachers. Sometimes they don't always write things down. So spontaneity, an example could be just freestyle. Even if they write out their sermon, right? They'll come out and say, you know, y'all didn't hear me or something like that, right? Can I get an amen? They'll throw in a little call and response. It's the same thing. When you go to these concerts and they say, can I get your hands up? All this is in their delivery, right? This is tonal semantics, all that.
The kids don't stand a chance. I said the kids don't. The kids don't stand a chance.
Basically, I'm coming here today to talk to y'all about how hip-hop can be used as a social movement for social justice. See, hip-hop music came out in the 1970s where there was emergence in the Bronx, New York. Hip-hop was by the dancers, the MCs, the DJs, the graffiti artists, and emerged out of minorities who said they couldn't stand a chance. Emerged out of people who said they were below a scratch line, that they couldn't be anything. And emerged out of people who said, we are going to speak our story into existence.
Planet X is in the pupils of my seed. It's the energy I perceive, allowing me to breathe, read and write, caress this mic and enjoy my life. That's like a breath of fresh air. Kiss of true love, a test of who's here. Planet X isn't the ending, it's where it begun. Planet X is a blessing, Planet X is my son.
The problem with a lot of us, we are distracted by the noise that we fail to listen to the pure information.
Philip Randolph's own words put it best when he said, in concert with their fellow workers, black people can take decisive control of their destiny. With a union, they can approach their employer as proud and upright equals, not as trembling and bowing slaves. Indeed, a solid union contract is in a very real sense another emancipation proclamation.
Labor is simply this. In America, labor is the ability not only to provide for your family, but it's to exist meaningfully. Black people were not meant to exist meaningfully on these shores. Labor allows you to say who you are on your own terms. And the people at the top can't change your definition of you.
Media shapes our thinking, but we have to separate the reality from fantasy. Basically, when it comes to trusting one another, we have to realize that God has a specific plan for each one of us. We cannot compare ourselves to one another, but we should take the time to treat each other the way we want to be treated. And when we do that, then we can build our communities up.
Individualism and personal wealth are destroying the black community infrastructure because individualism is a Western philosophy.
when we talk about what happened in the civil rights movement and when we talk about the election of Barack Obama, ultimately we talk about organized people with an organized plan and ultimately leading to organized power, turning into change and transformation.
There are a lot of people that talk about it but don't know how to be about it. If you're going to talk about it, you got to be about it. If you're going to try to help the streets, you got to get in the streets. So that's how I've always been raised. So sometimes you got to get your hands dirty, because there's a lot of people out there that got their hands dirty for me to even stand here right now.
Somebody looked at you and said that you have potential to be a great leader for your community and for this.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easy.